and Lyme disease are the two gigantic, big, misdiagnosed conditions because they have multiple types of causes or they mimic other diseases. Okay, so we quickly go through brainstorm. I might skip some slides, and I'll show you a quick before lunch. I'll show you a quick brain fog speak up. How to eliminate brain fog. Everybody knows what brain fog is? It's more than loss of sensation. It can be very severe. Okay? Now let's talk about the brain. So some people say, there's a debate about this number. I did all the math, I forget the math. So we have 70,000 thoughts a day. Now, thought is an electrical phenomenon. If I raise my arm, that's a thought. Anybody talks about this mind-body connection is ludicrous. I mean, there's nothing they can do that's not that. Speaking, talking, everything is mind-body connection. So the whole idea of holistic medicine is the most scientific. Okay? It's common sense. The conscious brain only runs 5% of the human being. Right now, we're only aware of 5% of what's going on. Heart rate, respiration, digestion, all this stuff is going on unconsciously. Okay? Supposedly meditation things where you can expand that if you want. You want to get like the yogis spend their whole life on control of their physical body. Okay? That's a lot of work. Okay? I love this quote. Your brain is 66.6667% fat. That gives no meaning to the word fathead. Scientific observation. And it has another meaning. What's the other meaning? Come on. 666. Isn't that interesting? It's in the Bible. 666. The beast, the devil. So that's very interesting. That our life, all that we see is coming from our brain. All the pollution, the wars, the politics, the hate, all the good things, all the bad things, are all coming from this brain that we have. Okay? And thoughts are real. That's my point. Electrical thoughts are real. If you have 70,000 thoughts a day and you're depressed, and 50,000 are negative thoughts, that's affecting the whole electrical grid in your body. Okay? And it's all about electricity. And homeopaths don't talk about electricity. Electricity is the first manifestation of the vital force on the physical plane. Electron flow through your body. When electron flow is disrupted, it's a universal cause of all disease. You disrupt electron flow to the legs, you have a paralyzed leg. Okay? You cut off blood to anything. The blood gives the nutrition so the nerves can do their electrical thing. It's all about electrical. How do you define someone alive or dead? By measuring the electric. Not by the heart anymore. It's by the brain electrical activity. And now they find people that have no electrical activity, someone came back. So where's the science? The science is only physical. Then 95%, who we are, culture, all this stuff, is ignored. Where's the science in love? That can be proven scientifically. It can't be measured. It can't be nothing. So it doesn't exist according to science. It's not real. Okay? What do they say? If they can't figure out what's wrong with you, it must be all in your head. Of all the places. Okay, so thoughts are real. They impact the body, anger, emotions, disrupt the function, serotonin, dopamine level, all this stuff. Okay. So just some quick facts. The weight is about 3 pounds. It's the same as my respiratory. The respiratory, that's what the brain is. I ship them, so I know how much they weigh. 75% water. Okay. 100 billion neurons. thousands and 10,000 synapses for each neuron. We can't even do the math. We all are walking around with a supercomputer, and we're not even using 5% of it. Okay? Literally a supercomputer. No pain. The brain has no pain receptors in it. Okay? So it's numb. Kind of play on no moral consciousness. Okay. Blood vessels, 100,000 miles. 100,000 miles of blood vessels in the brain. All your brain time. The thing they have in common, ginkgo, gotukola, everyone, they improve the circulation to the brain. Simple way to cure, prevent, and treat Alzheimer's and dementia and memory loss. Just increase the blood flow to the brain by simple herbal methods. Okay? And we know that the brain dehydrates and deteriorates because not getting enough blood, and then electrical activity starts going. And when these don't work, we have all these different diseases, different labels, only for insurance companies and drugs. Okay? And that. So, and fat. So fat and water. Okay? That's why omega-3, the THC, all this stuff is good for the brain. And the fatty acids, not so much for animals. 20% of all the oxygen you take goes to the brain. You can lose unconsciousness in 8 to 10 seconds in electrical activity. And just some fun facts about it. And this one says love hormones and oxytocin and autism. Now, I don't want to upset anybody here. But, the United States just approved the spraying of oxytocin in restaurants. People know what oxytocin is. It's a hormone that's released during labor in a woman. But they found that if they sprayed a small amount in restaurants, people are happier when they eat more. They take it to the FDA and they present the research and they approve it. And they don't have to tell people they're doing it. It's all about the dose. They don't believe that small dose is doing it, but they believe it's true. That's what they can sell, but it has no side effects. It's too small. According to the mice. Okay? So, love hormone. So, we potentize that, and it's a very powerful. The effects are similar to ecstasy as well. Okay, food and intelligence, they did studies on that. What we eat affects your IQ. Definitely study what disorder. Okay, I love this. What we're talking about, rainfall. Millions and millions of people suffer from rainfall, and they have many different communities. The dizzy, foggy feeling spacey, confused, blanking out, you walk in a room, why did I come in this room? All this type of stuff. And they also call it fogging of consciousness, mental fog. The allopaths refuse to use the word brain fog because that's alternative medicine. So they make up other words. Okay? It has impaired energy, impaired circulation to the brain, and impaired nutrition. All these things can cause it. Also emotional shocks and upset can cause it. And there's again another list of symptoms. I'm not going to read all of them. You have it in your notes, thankfully. Okay. Short-term memory is often the beginning of it, and all that. And then there's Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and a lot of these neurodegenerative diseases. They all have one thing in common. Anybody know what that is? They have there's a protein in the body called thyroid. And we discovered that from what? DSE, mad cow disease, here in England. And they found the mad cow disease has these proteins that fold on themselves. And they build up in the brain, and electricity can't flow through it. And that's a universal cause of a lot of these brain diseases. They're caused by two things. Okay? Toxins, heavy metals, or poison, and animal protein. When they fed the cows here beef, the cows went mad. Okay? And all the signs of illness. Now, is Alzheimer's related to meat eating? Same protein, and Parkinson's also. And they said, well, it's just an aging thing. Mad common is true. Are we genetically designed to do this? To eat this much and all that? Okay? And a big factor of brain fog is fatigue. Okay? So when you get low vitality, your brain is functioning right. Learning problems and all this stuff. Now here's another disorder that it relates to. So all these have brain fog. And you might, I think I switched that on here. Put brain fog in the middle now. And you have brain fog up here. But sleep disorders, jet lag, brain fog disease. Number one remedy for jet lag? Copulus. Okay? One thing, rescue remedy, copulus, and water, no jet lag. Okay? Copulus is one of the biggest remedies in homeopathy. And sleep deprivation is one of the biggest causes of all chronic diseases. That's ignored by homeopaths, allopathics. It's not a symptom. It's the number 2 torture method for the military. Number 1 is waterboarding. Number 2 is sleep deprivation.
Which one is?
Waterboarding. It makes you imitate like you're being drowned. So sleep deprivation. You can have someone, a physicist, PhD, you can de-evolve them to a primitive, hallucinating, wild person in days of sleep deprivation. So every case you look at, how is your sleep? The number one thing to tell you if a remedy is working is that they're sleeping better. Number one. Oh, they could have the most horrible disease, and I'll give them a remedy, 6 feet 3 times a day, they come back, nothing's better, but they're sleeping better. I'm thrilled. And then once you set those cycles going, then everything else starts getting fixed. That's a detox time, that's a rejuvenation time, growth hormones released, all this stuff. Melatonin's released. Without that stuff being released by the sleep, you die. Okay? And dream. Your dream deprived, you go insane. So a lot of these drugs stop your dreaming. And another thing is brainwave. Okay? Now they don't want, here's the research I want them to do. You give an allopathic drug to someone, you see how it affects their brainwave. It's a diagnostic of all these neurological diseases. And every one of them they call it spaciness or brain fog, affects your whole brain electricity function. Okay? So sleep, insomnia is one of the biggest things you want to treat. Okay, what the disease is? I also emphasize that as part of the system. Okay? Anxiety, learning disorders, and all this stuff can have brain fog. Autism, all can have an element of brain fog. Okay? You like to go through it? I don't know if you have this slide this morning. But that's just on the autoimmune, leaky gut, irritable bowel, gluten intolerance, all these allergies, everything can have brain fog as a component. And why am I saying this? If you're giving a remedy, and they may have gluten intolerance, food allergies, irritable bowel, you give a remedy, and they come back and say, oh, my mind feels clear. That's the beginning of the healing. Okay? You say, oh, you know, I expected more of this, switch remedy. No. Sleeping better or a clearer mind, and waking more refreshed is a sign that you're curing a person on a deep level. Not powerful aggravation. There's no sign. That's just a sign you gave it too strong. Nothing else. Blood sugar problems. All this can happen. You haven't eaten and all that, you get all species and again. So it's everywhere. Bipolar too. And these are some of the things I've seen as the biggest cause. Chemo radiation, poor oxygenation, this lack of exercise, sedentary life, nutrition, bad dehydration is a big one. We do not age, we dehydrate. Okay? We dehydrate. All wrinkles, all kinds of aging are signs. And drinking more water is not the cure. Drinking enough water is part of it. But we have to fix the whole system, okay? If you drink more water, you're going to pee out water. Okay? So meditation, here's a little cartoon. He goes to a memory clinic and keeps forgetting to take his ribbon. And that's the ginkgo biloba. The oldest plant on earth, I think, right? 100 million years old, oldest tree. I saw it walking down the street, I saw the leaves on the street here in London. Ginkgo leaves. Okay, here's one more. Now, it appears you have memory forgetfulness disorder, MFD, which, as you can imagine, is untreatable. So that means that you don't remember to take your medications, you can't get cured from your memory problem of taking medication. I've had all these patients come in, I ask how you remember, and they look at me, I don't remember that. I say, how's your memory? Oh, I don't remember. And I'm like, oh, well, what's my next question? Brain threats and brain protectors, and that's your diet. I don't know about the cheese over there, but artificially dyed. I've never seen yellow milk or butter, yellow milk coming out of the cow. No, white. We dye all this stuff. Okay? So a lot of greens are good, and that we'll talk about some of that stuff. Now here's some rubrics, and there's no real good rubrics in homeopathy, but I recommend that you go to brain in general. People have a lot of brain stuff. Look at that brain rubric. Okay? Burnett and Young championed this idea that one of the branches of homeopathy is organopathic, organ therapy. Okay? So you can have a person with a brain problem. We don't care what disease it is. We have to fix the whole brain. Okay?
What about the rubrics, frustration of mind and...
Yeah, there's so many. And they're gigantic, so I don't put much value. Mental exhaustion is the one. I think it's called mental exhaustion. There are other one called cloudy mind. You know, that's, and we're not going to, I could spend the whole day going through these two rubrics. But we just look at the top remedies underlying. Yeah. You see populars, and I would underline gelsemium in your notes right there. You'll see gelsemium and populars here. Whether it's a flu or a cold, but chronic. And don't forget, gelsemium is one of our biggest remedies for multiple sclerosis. Okay? It's not just a flu remedy. So, and it's also a remedy for drug overdose. The patient was high, they called me up during the hospital. His girlfriend tried to commit suicide about vicious, okay? And we gave her gelsemium. I could describe her. So she lifts her head up and she just la 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 la, and her eyelids are half closed. And I said, oh, that's gelsemium. I give gelsemium. Brought her out with a semi-coma. Okay? Just looking at the picture. And they used to put gelsemium, yellow jasmine flowers, in the moonshine, the liquor in Virginia to give it a kick. So gelsemium is a heavy remedy, all the way down from comas to food. Humble bit, heavy remedy. Comas and stuff too. Okay? So there's a bunch in there. You'll see cannabis, we'll talk about some of these carcinosin, candy and salt, the big ones. So that's just to help. This one, the star charts, these are my top remedies for brain fog. K-Day fog is more preventative, especially if you're food, food and memory and all this. We do our Qigong is usually before lunch, and we do some K-Day fog. Now I went back, I read all these old journals. I had no homeopathic teacher. I only had the University of Michigan homeopathic library. First school was Women, okay, for homeopathic medical studies. And so that's why Melanie couldn't be a doctor. So all the students, I read there what they would take to school. Of course, they had gelsemium, arginite, lycopodium for exam fears, anxiety, anticipation, and they take K-Lay-Fall, cell soft, and improve the memory. So if you have someone that's dementia, senile, or going that way, or elderly parent or something like that, you can put them on a K-Lay-Fall as a preventative. And it helps build up the brain, potassium phosphate. Now, a lot of it really simple. It's toxic brain fog. They took a drug, codeine, heroin, or any drug. 40%. I don't want to get too much on it. They're the worst drugs on the planet What are they? The statin, the cholesterol-lowering drug. They created a disease that didn't exist, and it's the worst drug. 40% of people that take statin have memory loss. Statin causes Alzheimer's. It deteriorates the brain. And all the goal of statins is to lower the number on the blood cells, because they're afraid of that high number. And we're treating people with fear, just like the priest and the shaman, and they control the patient with fear. And the media, this is fear. Not positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement. Okay? So the statins do all this stuff. The statins were created as a mistake. Okay? And the statins do nothing for lowering your cholesterol. They do nothing. They destroy the part of your liver that produces cholesterol. And it's the worst side effects, and the most marketable drugs, Lipitor, Crestor, all these things. People will look back in history on how the government let people do this. Can you imagine a car commercial? Whatever the car is, Toyota car. And oh, by the way, you may suffer, head injury, paralysis, and possible death driving our car. There's been reports of brake failures, reports of this. If you just translate what they say, you guys don't have the commercial. Half the commercials is just all the side effects. Death. Take this, Abilify. If your antidepressant doesn't work, add this one to it. Then they read the thing. Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, death are the side effects. We can't sell anything else. Child's toy. I mean, people would be grossed out, but that's the reality. One business is selling stuff that is toxic and poison, and everyone knows it. And another one that they did it, it's a world crisis. Your brakes fail. Your drugs kill thousands of people. Okay? One of my students, Carolyn Dean, write her name down, Carolyn Dean, MD. She wrote a book, The Death by Medicine. It was a Center for Disease Control. I think she has a website you can download the whole PDF on it. 700,000 people a year die. 700,000 from drugs and side effects. Unbelievable statistics. Shocking. Yes, we'll talk about that.
What's the name of it?
Carolyn Dean, MD. Death by Medicine. It's like a 30-page download. Only hospital statistics and the cost, too. I mean, this planet is a paradise. It's a garden of Eden. The whole planet's a garden of Eden. And we're just like these funky, dirty guests living here. I get into this, I don't want to get too much. I had a little thing that we want to do symbiotic medicine. Okay, not xenobiotic medicine. Symbiotic medicine, our medicine is green and cooperative and no side effects. It helps the person and the planet, anytime, any environment, everything. That's green medicine. Okay, xenobiotic medicine is parasitical medicine. It's only a parasite. You keep giving it, and like Bill Maher says, until the patient dies. And that's what a nursing home is. You go there, you send them there, and that's a natural one in the future. They look back, they put their parents on the nursing home, they just drug them, and they die. Cadmium salt, biggest antidote for chemo and radiation, brain cells. Calculus, all you know here, sleep deprivation, rainfall for sleep deprivation. People that travel a lot, through chronic jet lag, and ever since then. Viral infections, drug overdose, gelsemic, chronic brain fall. Carcinosis, sleep deprivation, all kinds of things. Cannabis, drugs, every symptom of cannabis is brain. Okay? Low blood sugar. Walk in a room, not forgetting what you say. It's all classic remedies. Okay? In Nova Scotia, they made oil. A few drops. They take this much marijuana, they get a few drops of oil. Unbelievable videos. You type in hemp oil cancer on YouTube, it'll be shocking. And the guy here, so the government won't bother him, he gives it away free. And he shows people how to make it themselves. So, and they're interviewing all these ovarian cancer going, this cancer's going and all that. In the interview saying, what's the dose? The guy takes one drop, puts it on there, and lifts it, says that's the dose. And we got some other stuff coming up. Unbelievable. One drop. Well, physical medicine. Okay? Or you can give the constitutional remedy, or general remedy. So here's one protocol for chemo brain. This is allopath patients call that. They actually have a group. They sit there and make fun of how their memory is bad and all that stuff. Support group. They try to make life fun of the problem or the side effects. So you get cadmium sulfate with antidote chemo. You clear them out with charcoal, and you do them with one simple cheek on the back. Okay? And you can clear them out. And sometimes you can take a remedy. I've heard it so many times. They take a remedy. I don't know what you did. Everything seems clear. And they run and make their eyesight improve. No, it's the brain fog that lifts it. Okay. Anybody know the keynote of remedy? She feels as if a dark cloud has settled on her head. Black cola, which is awesome. That's the same indications in herbal tincture as homeopathy. Yes, same menopausal use, it's the same. When herbalists present these cases, they cure someone on this semi-subdued or black clot. I believe them. Then I go try it and I see it. Case settled. This is not an intellectual on how this affects me and what I'm doing. No, it's done. Okay? Out of order. What do you call it? The central core computer is not functioning correctly. And these are our times. And we'll get into some of these. But unbelievable foods. There's two types of times. Foods and herbs and minerals and spices. There's stuff in the kitchen. Every homeopath knows everything in the kitchen that's therapeutic. Okay? And I tell you, it's unbelievable what's already in the kitchen. We talked about this 5 years ago with the baking soda curing cancer and all this stuff. And number one thing is cayenne pepper stops all heart attacks. Okay? Cayenne pepper. And Dr. Christopher, my first teacher in 1972, she's had 35 years of practice in Utah, and the Mormons believed in no medicine. Now they do. They got convinced. So, and she's never lost a heart attack case in 35 years. Not one. Now that's a real drastic thing. I carry it in my car. I have rescue remedy, cayenne pepper, just a few tinctures and remedies, and that's there. So then there you give a tincture or a spoonful of cayenne, and they will convulse and often vomit, and heart attack stops instantly. Okay? And another elderly lady, about 70 years old, she lives in the woods by herself on a hill, her and her donkey or goat. We gave her a mushroom for a goat, and a big old tumor fell off the ear, reishi mushroom. I couldn't take the case, he wouldn't talk to me. Okay? So she's having a heart attack, she calls me. Okay? I'm hours away. She's having a heart attack. I told her to get a bucket, she put cayenne in the bucket, stuff her feet in the bucket, and the heart attack went away. Because the feet swelled up with the heat and pulls the blood out of the heart. Migraine, headache, stick your feet. Simple stuff. Okay? And what are you doing? They don't have remedies. We're lost. I said, open your spice cabinet. What do you got in there? Horseradish, cumin. Every one of them is this. Okay? And a lot of them have in poultice, cinnamon. Unbelievable remedy for diabetes and blood sugar and all this. And sleep. Unbelievable remedy. All the ancient books and all that knew about it. Okay? So we're going to, this is the biggest remedy. I'm going to give a whole hour lecture on Bacopa. How many people know Bacopa? Bacopa. In my new 39. So I give a whole talk on that. And that has been proven to regenerate brain cells. The tincture or the powder. And we buy the powder, and we have people putting their smoothies and it regenerates the brain. Unbelievable. Thousands and thousands of research studies all around the world. Okay? And we potencize it. We're the first ones to potencize it. Unbelievable. So I'll give you a talk on that. And then we get charcoal, you know, the toxic brain fog, we get charcoal. Ginkgo, those who told have both been studied. And always you'll see ginkgo being real popular, and then 5 or 10 years later, he does a report, oh, ginkgo doesn't work. From a pharmaceutical company, you know, that's it. And there's tens of thousands of people that work. Just improving the blood flow is enough. Okay? It goes on and on. Green coffee they're using is the #1 thing for weight loss. You buy a green coffee extract. All the original coffees were green, not roasted. And what's our homeopathic made of coffee? What's it called?
Cruda.
What's the big remedy? Which is bigger, Coffea kosher or Coffea cruda?
Cruda.
Green coffee. We have green coffee coffee. They can't keep it in stock nowhere in the United States for weight loss. We found there's another one called Garcinia. People just lose it. Take attention. And all these psychological problems are even lycopodium do you for stuff. Give them a tonic and lycopodium. And you get the calls with your weight. And there's diet. Okay? And griphonia, unbelievable remedy that affects the third eye and the pineal gland. So that's remedy you've seen for chronic insomnia in different times. Gynostemma, I'll talk about that, has 10 times the phytochemicals of ginseng and other ones. The little known as the green powder grass you can buy. It's called magic grass in China. Yeah, it is a tonic for the brain. All these are brain tonics for brain. It's right there. You have it in your notes. Gynostemma. It's called magic grass or miracle grass. You need green tea, also antioxidants and all that. And matcha is a green tea from Japan that they do the green tea ceremony. And that's the highest of all the green teas for antioxidants. You have to go out of your way to find it, or order from Japan. Okay. Macuna, and unbelievable. I'm only going to give a talk on Bacopa and Macuna. Macuna is a homeopathic remedy. It's all of materia medica. When you use it in physical doses, it has dopamine in the herb. You can give, for Parkinson's and these things, you can give the tonic and then treat them homeopathically. Walnut that looks like a brain, unbelievable, and it regenerates the brain. Oh, the ancients, the prophets, the saints, they would prescribe 5 or 10 walnuts 3 times a day. Almonds. Well, you have a heart problem, take 5 almonds 3 times a day for 2 months. And I have all in the book. I did all the research and everything. Okay? Okay, this is just some of the top things. Omega-3s, again, hemp seeds and chia seeds gives you good fat for the brain. 2/3 of your brain is fat. And it's not animal fat. It's plant fat. Okay? So we're going to talk about that. Charcoal and bacopa are the 2 main ones. This is a new remedy called Undio, in the materia medica. Concomitant, potentizer, never probably use. Physical doses, unbelievable. So I look at the homeopathic, and I look at the herbal or physical ways of using it, and I combine those together to speak this together. Then you know carbohydrate. And you know how to use it as activated charcoal, all the way up to 10 M. Then you know charcoal. Okay? You only know half charcoal if you know only the physical or only the homeopathic. Okay? You don't know all. Okay? And where did we learn this stuff? Macuna and Bacopa, they're yogis. I looked at the Taoists and yogis. Their whole life and religion is about how to make themselves healthier. Brain health. So living a lifestyle that detoxify yourself, take some time, take a long remedy, and helps you do all that. Become more creative, better sleep. Another big thing is your dreams. Dreams are unbelievably powerful. Okay? Not just the curative. If you ever hear a remedy or something, someone tells you it's based on your dream, you listen to it. In my experience, it's like 80 to 90% correct remedy. Okay? I tell stories after stories about the dreams in there. And this is the whole Egyptian medicine. They put people, they gave them herbs that use dreams. And you do mantra, what kind of